Hello everyone, thank you for joining us today. I'm Laura and I'm with my husband Andrea, and we have our dog Nisha with us today. We are at Sunset Crater Lava Flow. What you see here is the Bonita lava flow. That's from a volcano that erupted in 1085 AD.
So Laura, that's actually not that long ago that it erupted. By walking there and looking at the actual lava bed, I thought it was much older. That's really fairly recent in terms of, if you look at all the other lava, all the other cinder cones there, and there are about 600 cinder cones, and most of them are actually millions of years old. So the Sunset Crater is really a baby crater.
That's true, but it still looks fresh, like it just erupted today. Everything looks just as it did then.
It is very true, yes, and I was impressed by the lava bed is still perfectly intact. And if you go, we actually went on a hike that it took us to how high was that? About 1,000 feet high or so, near.
Yeah, it
About
was
that much.
close to 11, 12,000 feet.
Yeah,
So we got a good overview of the whole area, and we'll show you a picture of that
yeah, and that
when we
was
took that hike.
that was the perfect spot to actually look at what happened during the eruption, because the crater is still completely full of ashes. So there is not much of vegetation that has grown back since the time it erupted. So did any people die? Do you know if any people died there?
I don't think if there was any deaths, there was very few. The local Sinagu, is that how you pronounce it?
I think so,
Sinagu
yes.
people,
Sinagus.
they did temporarily abandon that area when it erupted, but I don't think there was very many casualties at that
Yeah,
time.
I read that archaeologists start digging up, below the ashes and the part of the lava bed, and they found several house pits. Is that how you call them? Or pit house, actually, pit
Okay,
homes.
pit homes, yes.
But they said that they really didn't find any skeleton or any humans. Again, there might be others out there, but it seemed that they had plenty of time to flee the area when it erupted.
Yes. And the Sunset Crater is the youngest in a string of volcanoes that is related to the San Francisco Peaks, which is right behind us. You can't see them, but Humphreys Peak is among them, and that is the highest peak in Arizona. And that is 12,633 feet. And we have been up there, and it's quite a beautiful view. You can see the Grand Canyon from there. It's just
Yeah, it
just
was
wonderful.
that was a great hike, and if I remember correctly, I had to wait for you actually
Oh no, it was
catching
the
up
other way around.
behind me. But it's actually I was reading that these people that used to live there, these Sinagua people that used to live there, again they were able to leave the area and move nearby. That was actually something good for them, this eruption in the long run, because apparently the ashes were able to trap the humidity and keep it in the soil. So all these ashes made the soil extremely fertile, and so it was good for them actually to move away in a certain way.
Well, good. And also, there was an ice cave or tube that was created, but unfortunately, we can't take a look at that because it was closed after a partial collapse. There is another lava tube, that's actually on the other side of the San Francisco mountains that is available for hiking, and you can go underground, and it goes 0.75 miles underground, and I would recommend that as well because it's really cool to check out. It is completely dark in there, so you have to bring plenty of light. But that's
Yeah,
another
we
thing.
went there with the kids. You
Yeah,
remember? It
yeah.
was they had fun. They had to crawl down
Yeah.
actually to some sections to get to the other part. And it's well, how long was that?
It
About
was 0.75
point
miles.
seven, yeah, almost 1 mile.
And it was quite cold in there too.
But you know, a great actually story about the Sunset Crater is that this man called Colton, H.S. Colton, saved the cone apparently from being blow up by Hollywood. So story says that Hollywood wanted to one of the
A filmmaker.
a
Yeah,
filmmaker,
they wanted
yeah.
to make a film about Zane Grey's movie called Avalanche.
Right, and so they wanted to blow up the crater so that it would. That was back in 1928, and apparently this man Colton was able to save the crater, and it was at that time. It coincided at that time that they made the area like what do you call it?
Yeah. Well, it was the public outcry that led to President Herbert Hoover to make the area Sunset Crater Volcano National Monument.
So it coincided with that period. I remember
Yes.
reading it that after this attempt from Hollywood to blow up this crater, then people just felt like outraged and they were afraid that somebody else might try to do the same.
Right.
So it was, it was at that time that they made it a national monument.
Yeah, so now we're able to enjoy this unique location today, so we're grateful for that.
Yeah, and so do you know why it's called the Sunset Crater? I know it, but I want to see if you know it.
I believe it's because of the colors in the rock and the ash that's left. It's sunset colors in the cinder cone.
Yeah, it's close enough. I think you know it because I told you before.
No, I don't think
so. So the legend holds that in the 19th century, this explorer, John Wesley Powell, named the Sunset Crater volcano that way because it's because of the color, as Laura mentioned, of red and yellow cinder suggests a perpetual sunset. So that's actually kind of romantic. You look at that cone and you're always seeing a sunset. Basically, reminds you of a sunset. That is a fascinating.
Yes, well, it is a beautiful area and unique, and I do love to come here. So we enjoy it.
So yeah, on our video, actually, we were trying while we were shooting the video of the location. As you can see, you're gonna see mostly the lava bed, what's left of the lava bed. So it looks like a bunch of black rocks, but in reality, those are really part of the remains of this lava bed. And I'm not sure if we're going to be able to add an aerial pictures that shows you actually from a high view the full bed river. So we did yoga over there, and we practiced yoga, and then we went for a walk for a walk around it. And it's very it's
a beautiful location.
Very, very beautiful. Yeah, I'm gonna cut it this.
So thank you for joining us on this journey. If you haven't already, I hope you will practice Yin Yoga with me here, surrounded by the lava flow.
Namaste.
Namaste.